Why you should stop worrying about what other people think of you. I used to worry a lot about what others thought of me. It didn't matter if it was my friends or my parents or whoever it was. I always had these ideas and I wondered what they thought about me. And I went over this stuff in my head over and over again. And what I've come to realize is that number one, it's not really, it's none of my business really what other people think of me. And what other people think of me is actually a reflection of their own relationship with their own inner self. And so when I try to manipulate and change what people think of me, and maybe I change my behavior in order to get them to think a certain way about me, well, I'm not being the real authentic me. And what I'm doing is I'm doing things and acting in such a way that validates whatever it is that they thought about me in the first place. So, well, I'm trying to control what other people think. And the more I tried to control what other people thought of me, the more out of control it became. And they would think just crazy stuff about me that, wasn't even true. But was it? In me trying to control what they thought of me, I was doing some pretty crazy things. And so I wasn't being me. And so here I am, I think who I am. All behavior is actually subconscious, right? So we're not consciously aware of the majority of our behavior. We just do it. And so when we get conscious and we start doing things like that, then what happens is we do the opposite of what we intended to do because we're coming from a negative standpoint. So if you had an intention, whatever your intention is, and then you come from a negative vibration, then you're going to get the exact opposite of what you intended to get. And that's just the way it works. We're beings who work on a vibrational level, and when we are associating with other people, when we're doing things with other people, our chemistry mixes with theirs. And so they bring out of us what they need to see in order to validate and confirm what they already believed about us. And so they'll act a certain way in order to elicit that behavior from us. And if we're not in control of our own self, then we will do what they've asked and we'll actually behave in that way unknown to ourselves, and we'll demonstrate ourselves being differently than what we really are. Now, if you're looking to control what all of these other people think, well, what's really going on is these other people aren't thinking and seeing us really for who we are. They're seeing us for who they are inside of themselves. And so they'll find aspects of us that remind them of themselves. This is all happening at the subconscious level. It doesn't happen consciously. So they are drawing a picture of us based on what they look like, and they're pulling out all those aspects of us that their subconscious sees that reminds them of themselves. And when somebody gets angry at us, then those are the aspects of them that are just like them. When they pull out aspects of us that they like, then those are aspects of themselves that their subconscious wants them to be okay with that aspect of themselves and make peace with that part of them. And so whatever other people think of us is really about them. It's not about you even. So it's not really any of your business what they're thinking about you. And what it does, what they say about you, shows more really what their relationship is with themselves. And so what they say about you tells us more about them than it does us. So to worry about what they think of us and to try to control and manipulate that, then you're giving up who you are, and you're displaying a person who you're not to them, and really you're deceiving them. And is that who you want to be? Is that the kind of person that you want to be, that's deceiving people and manipulating them? And when you be yourself, when you just be yourself, then that is truly the best way to be. Then when you worry about yourself, and worry is not a good word, when you focus on yourself and you just be who you were meant to be, and you get out of your head and thinking about what other people might think of you, then you're free to be a totally different person than you even thought you were, because you don't even know who you were. The thoughts that you have about yourself are a combination of a bunch of ideas that other people gave you and said throughout your whole lifetime. In fact, the majority of what you believe about yourself are ideas that came to you in the first 4 or 5 years of your life. And that wasn't really all that accurate. And what happens is you get a belief, and it's like you're a blank when you start out. And so you start accepting things. The first thing in is what you believe. And it might not be something somebody said about you. It could be something that they were saying about yourself that you took personally. So your dad might have said something, and then from there you just accepted that as you. And then what your mind did was it set out to confirm that that was true. And so it kept doing whatever that thing was. You just kept doing that to confirm that in fact that is you. And that's the way we work. The easiest way to overcome all this is to use hypnosis to overwrite your old programming and install new programming instead. And the deeper you can get in a trance, the easier it is to bypass that critical faculty and embed new ideas of who you are, new behaviors and new strategies that are meant to empower you and help you to be yourself. And as far as being yourself, then one of the things I offer is a journey into the light to find out who you are. So if that sounds of interest to you, then go to my website at jeffbroomfield.com and I have a get started button there. And then you click that button. And from there, you can book yourself a strategy session. And we'll talk about what your goals are and whether or not hypnosis can help you out. So thanks for tuning in, and stay off and have a good one.